Welcome from CareerGraph, brought to you by pexitest.com. We are often faced with the question of employment versus employability. While employment is the assignment of a job role, employability is the set of skills, capability, and attributes which are required at varying levels to gain employment. Thus, these levels are not only a function of your skills or academics, they are also a functions of capability, attributes, interests. Career choices aren't just about academic, it's also about who you are. This helps us understand that gaining insights on your individual potential for employability is through gap assessments. Typically, employability is not covered under academics, but it brings about a big difference later in our lives when we are employed to understand where does our efficacy lie best, in what kind of a job roles do we find ourselves confident about, what kind of functions raises our self-esteem and helps us deliver the highest level of performance. Thus, CareerGraph looks at 6 key areas to draw insights and offer the best industries and job roles for the individual. We begin with academics, which is the qualification stream to help identify functional skills of the candidate or individual, the temperament, which covers attitude and nature determining behavior, job fitment or the kind of job roles which would ideally fit the person, the aptitude or the reasoning abilities one excels for problem solving to point which job roles require such skills and what are the levels of the candidate or individual for those particular reasoning abilities. Behavior covers the behavioral traits and their benchmarks against peers, and finally the interest or for understanding the individual preference for identifying the best job fitment. Thus, you can help understand your fitment, discover career paths, know yourself better, and thus uncover your potential. For organizations, it becomes a great tool to identify who would fit best in what kind of roles when we are out for either campus hiring or even for knowing individuals coming in from generic job roles to specific roles. So, how can one access the report? A simple 4-step to the report in one go is all that is required. So, whether you are a sponsored candidate, you can enter the code if you are sponsored through any organization or institution, or you can also select CareerGraph through the drop down if you are want to undertake a non-sponsored test. This will lead you to complete your profile, which includes sections like your location, your academic qualifications. Then we come to the test area where you are administered a time test. This is a combination of 4 short tests to complete within an hour, and finally the report is available for download. Please appreciate that in case it's a sponsored test, it will depend on the sponsor whether the report is to be made available immediately or at the next day. The uniqueness of the CareerGraph report is the benchmark scores, which helps highlight your scores against your peers. So how do we identify these benchmark scores? The benchmark score is calculated based on your age, your qualification stream, and your qualification level, which means that a 22-year individual who's undertaking BTech would only be measured against other 22-year-old BTechs. CareerGraph thus helps answer the key questions of what are my value systems and temperament, what are my strengths and weaknesses, what industries can I explore for a wide range of careers, and what are my behavior and aptitude benchmarks to improve for specific job roles that I seek. This helps not only the individual understand where they stand vis a vis their current abilities and skill levels, it also helps the employer or the HR community understand where can they fit the individual who comes in through a single report. What do we cover in this report? All the 6 traits are covered including the temperament, where we help you understand what are the positive and negative traits for each temperament when you are picking up or when you are trying to decide the job role fitment for a particular individual. The motivation looks at your intrinsic versus extrinsic motivational factors. The aptitude looks at 5 key areas of workplace communication, situational judgment, numerical ability, comprehension and proficiency, and logical thinking. The behavioral strengths covers openness to learning, team management, resourcefulness, decision making, creativity and innovation, handling conflict, negotiation, openness, vision approach, morality, aggression quotient, and emotional stability. All of this through our unique algorithm helps to understand what are the preferred versus recommended industries for the individual and what kind of job roles would the individual fit best in. A higher job satisfaction involves doing what we are best suited for, what can bring us joy and allow us to deliver our best. With this, we request you to reach out to us or do mention your institution in the comments below to connect with us and help get your copy of CareerGraph report today. For our employer and hiring partners, please reach out to us on pexitest.com or you can write to us at score@pexitest.com. The details are available in the description below.